Okay, now I'm standing next to the shed, basically our northeast corner of the yard, to facing west to show you the berry patch. As you can see, this is the perennial garden that we just went over. Has a lot of herbs in it, and the berry patch is between the herb garden and the house. Along the north fence, you can see the slope here is quite substantial. Things really don't like to grow here. I mean, this is not a good environment for plants. So what we did is put as thick of mulch as we could, basically 4 to 6 inches, and try to grow some trees. Along the back fence, we have 6 arborvitae trees. They definitely don't look too hot right now because we have very hot beating sun in the afternoon. But very cold nights. But those arborvitaes will eventually green up and grow to about 10 to 15 feet tall and hopefully form a screen here. Hopefully I can see it. I mean, it's going to take a decade. Next layer up, we have 2 hazelnut trees. Those are supposed to start producing nuts on their 3rd year, and they did flower this year in February as well. So we need 2 hazelnuts because they close pollinate. This middle mulch eventually going to become a path that go along the side of the yard, reaches the shed patio. But right now, since we don't have materials, we just basically leave it there. Above this future retaining wall area, it's our berry patch. So we have 15 raspberry there. 3 different varieties, 5 each. As you can see, the middle one is really slow on catching up the growth, but the 2 different varieties right there are doing much better, probably because they're early bearing varieties. They already started flowering, so we're expecting berries maybe in 2 weeks. Yep. As part of the berry patch, I also planted a shrub called serviceberry. A lot of people might think serviceberry as a tree, but it actually has a dwarf shrub form and produce better in terms of berries. So serviceberry is something that in our region people planted in place of blueberries because we have very alkaline soil, so it's not good for growing blueberries. But serviceberries is something native to Utah and Colorado, basically the Rocky Mountains, and they will produce berries that are very similar to blueberries, taste very similar too. It's just more nutty flavor. We've been having berries last year already, and this year is just loaded with flowers in the spring, so I'm expecting very good harvest in a few weeks. Before we moved to the patio area, the new patio planters, so this is the last piece of yard, maybe in the backyard we need severe overhaul. So this is actually the north side of our house, and because of the mulched area, this ground get isolated. We basically gonna turn it into another mulched area to plant some shade perennials, but we didn't get to it this spring, so maybe it will be there next spring. At the corner here, we have lilac that we inherited. We have cut it into the ground to rejuvenate it, and this year it came back pretty nicely in terms of foliage, but of course there's no flowers. So I'm just gonna let it grow, and eventually it'll become a quite tall shrub and cast some shade as well. Behind the serviceberry I planted there, one is because near the gutter, and 2 is that I wanted to actually, cover the view of the AC unit from the backyard. I actually planted a new climbing vine. So this is the climbing hydrangea. This is our bedroom window. And this climbing hydrangea, giving time, can cover majority of this north wall. And that's the goal for planting it here. It also will give a green screen to our bedroom window and added some privacy. So coming around the house, this is our bedroom egress window. I planted another climbing vine here. It's called a passion flower. If you don't know about the passion flower, definitely check it out. I don't see it a lot in Colorado, probably because the flower look too tropical to our area, but it's actually a zone 5 plant. So I planted it here also for privacy reasons, because if you step on the patio and looking north, we can see through neighbor's fence, and because of the slope, and when they're on the patio, we're on patio, we can see each other. So having a screening plant here hopefully will block some of that view. Patio planter, we built it this year, filled with soil, quite happy with it, use it every day. And what we put in here are strawberries. We do have a perennial strawberry bed, as I showed you at the beginning of the last video, in a vegetable garden, but we do have to fight bunnies and sometimes other stuff, whatever, animal or bugs of the strawberries. So I decided to move some of the strawberry here so we can enjoy it right off our patio. You know, it's such a nice thing when you have patio plants that you can just walk out in the morning in your pajamas with your coffee and just grab and eat. Don't you think? So let me go around to the other side of the planter so you can see this garden a little better. So basically, up until this spring, we have basically just a line of edging straight from the berry patch all the way to the maple tree, and that's where the lawn starts and where the berry patch ends. But this year what we did is to push that mulched area all the way into the lawn and create this kind of like a wavy edge. This gained us a couple 100 square foot more of planting space outside of the perimeter of the berry patch, and all of them are going to be filled with flowers next year. It's just this spring again, so weird. We did not get any flowers except a couple things I can order online, and we didn't even get around to get mulch. Look at this. This place is completely mulched with cardboard and the grass clippings generated from our lawn, because I can't go out and get mulch. And we added a little bit more mulch here in different color because our neighbor just cut down a tree and gave us some of their shavings. But all this gonna be much better next year once we have one kind of mulch to uniformly mulch the entire area, and then maybe add in more flowers. And so far, to fill the space, what I'm thinking is that I actually planted some seedling of rhubarb. So I'm just going to pop those rhubarb plants along the perimeter. They're actually a perennial here, but they're very easy to move, so I can just use them to fill space this year, so this place does not look weird and bare. I did get a chance to put a few plants here, which I ordered online way before the pandemic started. One of them is this Chinese snowball. It's supposed to be a multi-stem tree. So my goal of planting it there is to let it come up and grow and cast kind of like a shade around this part of the garden and the lawn. This will eventually become at least 8 feet tall and give very, very big white flowers in spring and summer. So it will be nice. Even though now it's a baby, yeah, it will be nice. Behind there, tucked in, is a lingonberry. Yeah, I first time learned about lingonberry when I went to IKEA and buying their gems, and now I know I can grow them. Why not give it a try? And actually it's doing quite well. It started flowering. Was that a flower? Yeah, it started flowering already. Yep. The third plant I put in here is a rosemary. Rosemary usually do not survive our winter, even though they're labeled as zone 5. But I'm planting it here because this is a very protected area, and I'm gonna put kind of like a dome over it this winter, and hopefully I can grow some perennial rosemaries. The last plant in pot is a lemon verbena. If you don't know about lemon verbena, check it out. The leaves, when you put it into hot water, it tastes like lemon water. So I usually harvest the leaves and dry them for the winter, so I don't have to buy lemons for my water. Yeah, check it out. It's very amazing. It's a zone 9 or something. That's why it's in a pot, so I can bring it inside in winter. And if you're wondering why I have pink flags everywhere, it's because I actually seeded the zinnia and the cosmo here, and I don't want the Roxy to get in there and take a nap and break all the seedlings. That's why he's here. Actually, they came up. Can you see the cosmos? They just need time to defend themselves, grow bigger. So that's it. Our backyard, the patio planters, the new potting bench / outdoor kitchen I made, the berry patch, the screening trees, the maple tree and herb garden, and the vegetable bed.